In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a strip quilt in under an hour, and later on, you'll get the link to the free pattern. Hi, I'm Katie, a modern quilter, and I love talking all things sewing. So let's dive into making a strip quilt under an hour. First thing, you're just going to need your supplies. So that will be 6 half yards, whether you just have some on hand in your stash, or if you want to run out to the local quilt shop, you can grab 6 half yards. Sometimes they're in a bundle. You'll want to grab your ruler, a cutting mat, as well as your rotary cutter, and then your machine with thread. So let's just hop to it. I'm going to move this out of the way. I like to do multiple cuts at a time, so I'm going to go ahead and layer up. Let's just be on the safe side here. We'll layer up 2 of the half yards at a time. And these are older prints, yeah, pretty old, 2015 if I'm reading the selvage here, from Cotton and Steel. And you know what? I'm actually going to time myself so that way we can make sure I'm not cheating via the magic of YouTube. So that will be going on the whole time, and I think you can see it from, the overhead view as well as straight on here. So what I like to do is just line up the top here, and I'm also paying attention to my selvage, making sure it's falling outside of one of the grid lines. That way, when I do cut, it'll be nice and straight. All right. And usually, I would press these a little bit flatter, but I had just recently folded these up, so go ahead and feel free to press your material as you need. But with this being such a quick quilt, I'm not too concerned about a little bit of a crease in it. So cutting off the selvage first, and if you want, you can save those for later for a different project. I like to put them in my little scrap bin right here. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and cut 5 1/4 inch strips, and that should get you about 8 strips per half yard. I'm going to keep everything doubled up and see where we land on the very end, and then I might just unfold it and go ahead and trim that. So 5 1/4, and I'm going to be actually making a throw size quilt. So the pattern does include sizes from baby all the way to king to make these, and it'll vary how much material you need for everything. So all right, so now that I have everything cut, I'm just going to go ahead and stack how I want everything to kind of fall into place. So as you can tell, I've got this teal color, a minty green, and then this nice kind of, I don't know if you want to put it as an olive or kind of a mustardy yellow, but I'm going to put them in order. So I have teal, mint, and then that mustard color or that olive color with it starting over on that teal, mint. Here, now we're going to go ahead and sew all of these strips into one giant long strip. And feel free, if you'd like to, you can press after that. I'm kind of a speedy quilter. I don't get much time in here because I've got kids. So usually if I can forego pressing, I typically do. Which may be frowned upon amongst the quilting community, but do what you gotta do if you're wanting to sew and get some work done. All right, so now I have one massive strip that I need to cut the rows of our quilt for. And I'm gonna go ahead, since I'm making a throw size quilt, the dimensions are 58 inches long. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's grab where my starting end is. Here it is. And I'm gonna just measure right on my mat what 58 is. So 36 plus 22, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. That's the lovely thing about this. And I'm just going to see where this falls on my table, so I can maybe just cut quicker, which I'm about an inch shy from being like perfectly on, which, you know what? Just gonna move my cutting mat over there. Yeah, all right. We just gotta get this first one cut, and then I usually use one to kind of guide me so I can just keep cutting quicker. All we're gonna try to get to is cut to 14 quantities at 58 inches long, and then we are all set to start assembling our quilt top. So go ahead, got this lined up, and grab my tools again. If you had a smaller ruler, that'd be a great time to break it out, but there we go. So I'm just gonna double check. I know you should always measure twice, cut once, right? But here I am backwards. And we're going for, I'm at 23. That's okay. So we'll be at 59 inches length, which is a-okay by me. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and use this as my guide now. But you can already see that some of these colors are matching up, so we'll probably have to do a little flipperoni. 26 is where I'm at. Right on the clock. I looked up and I was like, am I gonna make it? I don't know if you guys saw how often I was looking up at the clock, because I was like, my gosh, I didn't think it would take a full hour, but here we are at the end with our fun little throw quilt that has no matching seams, which is so nice. 6 half quarters, my goodness, I'm like jazzed up here. 6 half yards to make a throw size quilt, which is about 60 by 70 inches. So super quick, super easy. I sewed it in an hour from start to finish, cutting to full assembly. Now to go final press. And then, you know, depending on how you like to quilt, you can either baste with adhesive onto batting and your backing, or use pins. And then also, depending on what you want to do, whether you want to machine quilt it, you want to send it to a long armor, which I'm always happy to get one. Or if you want to tie it, that's how I learned how to quilt, having sporadic ties with yarn, and then go from there. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to take a look at all of the links down below. And also, you can find my next video, which is going to be all about pre-cuts, coming up.